Big Brother Gossip.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special Mike's Big Brother CarCast, aka Big Brother Gossip Show, kinda special, but I'm doing it on my CarCast platform. Anyways, let me get right to it because I only have 45 minutes to get this done, and knowing me, it'll be tough to do. I've got about 16 and a half minutes of audio to play. Some of it was played on Saturday's show, but a lot of it wasn't. And I kind of wanted to let you guys hear the stuff that didn't get played. I realize at this point, many of you have probably seen Sunday's show. Many of you may have also seen the entire leak video. It is out there for our patrons. Our Big Brother Gossip show, you can download it if you are a patron. Scott provided the link Sunday, maybe. And for patrons of my Big Brother CarCast, I provided links to a couple of videos where you can watch it on Daily Motion, broken down into two. So those of you that haven't seen it yet, there's a couple of ways you need to be a patron of one way or another, and that's just so that we limit the amount of people. It's because in either case we're throwing something out there that CBS obviously is taking down when they get a chance to. So we don't want to give them as much of an opportunity or as an ease to get rid of it. There's nothing in there that's incriminating, nothing horrible. It's just stuff that, they apparently didn't want to be put out there. And so anyways, it's out there. That's how you can do it. But for those of you that aren't that desperate to hear all of it, you can listen to this show. And I will, as I said, I will give you highlights, talked about some of the stuff that I didn't get to talk about on Saturday, and then just let you listen to it. So let's give you a little bit of background, a little bit more than I did on Saturday night. So this audio was put out by a person whose nickname on Reddit was, I gotta scroll here, sorry, this is going to be live and I'm not going to try to edit too much, Alanis Rocks 69, so like Alanis Morissette, Alanis ROX 69 on Reddit. The way it seems to be is that he has a big 10-foot satellite dish, like the old-fashioned ones that some people had back in the day. And back then you could hear about people that would get like entire news broadcasts, but they'd get the commercials too, where you'd see the news broadcaster just kind of sitting there twiddling his thumbs or talking or doing whatever. And while most of that has been replaced at this time by fiber, the speed, they don't need to do this through the satellite. Some of them still are, and it appears that they're still sending the CBS signal from wherever it is, in Burbank or wherever, up to the satellite and then down to Canada to a receiving station where I think Global TV transmits it. And so what this guy says is that about 90 minutes or so every week, 90 minutes or so before the live show, they turn on this thing to start the process, and that's just what they get to see is the feeds. He said most of the time it's very boring. There's nothing going on. It just so happened that this one time it was a exceptional show, and he felt it was good enough to share it out there on the internet. He has recordings of all the other ones, he said, and maybe he'll put up this coming Thursdays. Don't know, even if it's boring. We're hope to see that. I'm hopeful he will, and obviously we're not going to do recaps every time, but if he does, I will certainly be looking for it and watch it just to see what is on it. So, on with this part of the show. So he posted that. It got out there. It got posted up onto YouTube and a couple of other downloading sites, and then it disappeared about not quite 24 hours later is when it started getting taken down. So those of you that missed it, like I said, there's a couple ways to see it, but honestly, hopefully this will give you enough that you don't need to go desperately looking for it. It's not that enthralling. There were a few good moments, but it wasn't everything, and it's not worth trying to drag through 90 minutes. Trust me, as someone who did it. So the first clip, we played this on the show. I'm not going to remember which ones we did and didn't, but this is Jack and Christy and Nicole are in the room, and they're talking to Annalise, and Jack is explaining how Jackson had told him that Holly and Kat knew each other. All right, so we'll go ahead and kick off with that one.
I'm gonna gun for it now. I'm gunning for it too.
I've played every angle of this to try and save and figure it out, but the second that he dropped that Holly...
I know there's no fucking sex, but...
No, the second that he dropped that Holly and Kat know each other, I'm fucking out. I'm not having to do it.
He told you?
Yep.
Today?
Yep.
Why'd he tell you?
In a last-ditch
I just
effort.
want to know.
In a
Tell her
last-ditch
how he
effort
said
to
it.
break up. He goes, so you're telling me that Kat has been planning this lie with Holly, who she knew coming into this game?
He said, didn't he say, like,
Yeah, he was like, they know each other, and he cut out the mic. He went,
I knew it. I'm telling you, I swear, my sister, I heard them in the boat room. They
There's a
said
reason why
she knows what
Jackson
kind of
yelled.
shoes she wore.
Why would Jackson yell at Kat the way that she does and then she'd cry and forgive him later? If I yelled at you the way that Jackson yells at Kat, would you ever talk to me again? Or if Sam?
The craziest thing is, too, that how I know this is all a plan is because Kat, when we were have-nots, was crying hysterically to me that how her mom is so not proud of her because she's letting a guy talk to her like this, and that she wanted to win last week's HOH because she wanted to backdoor Jackson. So when I was probably like, great, I'm on board, like, let me know if that's what you want to do, like, she went back and probably said that to him. She wanted to backdoor him or pretended to want to.
So that particular clip did not make the air. Nicole was in the room, which was the really odd thing. There was, I think, a slightly earlier version of that shown on Sunday's show where you saw Nick in the room with Jack and Annalise. And I don't know if Christy was there at the time, but they were in the same kind of general seating as they were. Also shown on the TV show that we didn't see was Jackson telling Jack that he thought Kat and Holly knew each other, which was from earlier in the day or maybe late in the feeds when the feeds had been cut. We just didn't, I don't think that was on the feeds that any of us saw before they showed it on CBS. So you've got Jack saying, I just don't trust Jackson anymore. He's blown it with me. And they're talking about, it's breaking up. The next clip is really only 2 minutes after the last clip. And they're talking about what to do when they go downstairs. They're leaving this room. They're going to know something's up, and what they're going to tell Sam, if they're going to tell, that they're actually, going to try to save Sam or not. And then also at this time, Jackson shows up and walks in, and he knows something's going on. So that's a very awkward moment. So that's this next clip.
The second we walk out of this room, it's going to be well known that we're planning a backdoor. So.
Well, we can either just continue to deny, but I don't know how you want to handle the Jess thing.
I think you should tell Jess and just
I agree.
I'll fucking walk around.
I
and be
think
like,
we should. Wait, hold on.
If you don't want Jess and Cliff to go out, I'm going to fucking look right at Jackson and Holly. I'm going to be like, all three of you motherfuckers
Know each other,
and you're going home.
Me too. Oh, you want to just do it? Oh, you want to just...
This is
Maybe
how we
everyone
want to do
already
it.
fucking knows.
Wait, can we
That's
just
going
breathe
on.
and
Yes,
not
reevaluate,
storm
calm
out?
down.
Like, we're not storming
Calm
out right
down,
now.
be
We're all going to
nice,
be on the
calm
same
down.
page. I mean, I would love to just be
Why can't I just be like, you're going
Jackson,
home?
you're a piece of fucking shit.
You're going home
I'm not
because of
gonna-
Jackson.
I'm not going to play this shit. I'd love to surprise Sam more so
I
than
know. I
anything.
also
I'd rather
really want to
surprise-
surprise Sam.
Well, Sam told me, he's like, if the votes split, tell me.
But if
then
his,
I can
because he
change my
wants to
speech.
probably change his speech.
He does. That was literally
Fuck
it.
that. I want him to tell the speech and then we save him.
No, because he really said he didn't want to say Daddy's coming home. He just would say, Zach and Bradley, I love you.
Okay, but
So can
what's
we-
your game plan if you get approached right now?
You're going to get approached about flipping the vote. Are you going to promise no? To Kat.
Jackson already fucking knows. Like, he literally wouldn't stop.
What if I just tell her and make a promise not to say anything?
No,
She might-
no.
I know,
Literally,
I'm the
Jackson
same way as
knows.
you,
It doesn't
but
matter.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna go out there and tell them.
No, don't go yet.
No, I'm going. I don't. Someone's coming.
What up? Just pooping right now, taking a fat deuce, contemplating life.
On command.
Just talking about hairstyles, whether I'm going to wear a poof or not.
Yeah, I was
Really
on the
don't
fence
wish
about
it.
whether I was wearing a poof or not, too.
Wait, are we doing the
I don't know.
No, I'm not doing no fucking.
I'm not doing a fucking movie
He
either.
already fucking knows. I don't care.
Well, he
Okay,
should
so
know
if I
'cause
get
he's a
approached,
fucking shiesty
okay, if I get
motherfucker.
approached downstairs. Sorry.
To be
Kat,
honest,
you're
I'm
going
just
home.
gonna no, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be like, talk to Jackson. He seems to know everything.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, talk to Jackson.
Okay.
He seems to know it all. I'm going down with you.
So as you heard, Jackson walked in on that conversation. They kind of quieted down, and then they talked about hairstyles and poofs, and they were going to wear their hairs like in buns or something, and then they decided not to. And then Jackson walked out, and then they continued the conversation like, what are we going to do? So that's why it seemed like weird that they started talking to Jackson and then talked about him, but he'd walked out. The next clip we have, and I'm sorry, I'm just kind of doing this as fast as possible. I did also, by the way, crack open a beer. I'm having one beer in symbolic reference to the Big Brother Gossip Show. It's a weeknight, so I usually don't do much of this, but I am going to have the one beer. So the next clip, I've got my notes say Jackson, who knows that something is up now after walking in on this previous conversation, he's talking with Jack, Annalise, and Tommy in the boat room. Now, remember, you've seen some of this now. At this point, Jackson has gotten into the boat room with some of these people, and they're talking. And Nick walks up to the door. He's trying to get in there. Basically, no, you can't come in. And then Christy comes up, and Nick's like, yeah, they're talking in there. I'm not allowed in, but maybe you will be. And so Christy enters, And you just have to know, as you may have seen, that the rest of them are Jessica, Nick, Cliff, and even Nicole are listening outside. I also think this is when you'll hear Cliff go to get Nicole, which you also saw on the show last night. So here you go.
You guys still having this convo?
This fucking vote, apparently. And no one really actually knows what the fuck is going on. Because literally everything in this game, apparently, at this point is he said, she said, and no one knows anything.
Holly, Jackson, Jack, and Tommy.
In here?
Yeah, but they wouldn't let me in. Maybe you're allowed.
Like, are they literally doing this for some fucking show?
No, they're not. Nicole, you ought to come listen.
I don't want to listen.
They are breaking all apart as we speak, the six. I'm telling you right now, we need to stay unified, those of us who aren't in that six. But I was going to tell you to come listen.
I'm very afraid.
I know.
I don't like confrontation. I don't like it.
I don't either, but it's going down, and I just don't try to go in. But even if you're just outside, like the rest of us are doing.
Like, you clearly all know each other. You and Kat obviously know each other.
Couple of the notes about that last clip. Now, those of you that normally listen to the feeds or anything, you may know that the audio can be all over the place. I would strongly suggest that you're listening to this podcast with earphones on. I'm trying to keep the volume relatively the same, but some of the audio just gets really whispery and quiet. In this case, Jessica, she talks quieter than everybody else. And Jessica says to Nick right after Christy enters the boat room, Christy's like, "Do you think this is all for show?" And Nick's like, "No, this isn't for show. This is real." Because she thought maybe they were doing something to kind of show off, kind of for show. But no, Nick's like, "No, this is not for show. This is really what's going on." And yeah, so that was kind of some of these clips are like 5 or 10 minutes long, and I've edited it down. So there was a big edit jump between Cliff listening and walking. He had to walk to get to Nicole, and then bring Nicole back. And so I just wanted to at least get that in as part of the clip. So the conversation goes on for a while. The arguing starts. This is about 3 minutes after the last clip ended, and Jackson is really ticked off and he storms out. Now, you did see this on the show. You saw Jackson say some stuff and storm out. We saw it from a different camera angle. We just saw Jackson walk out and the door slam.
I'd like to take this moment, if you guys can please vote for me to stay while we're all here. This could be a 5, letting everyone know. We all need each other. So if you can vote for me to stay, it'd be appreciated. All right.
Because you were the rogue vote. Because
Yeah, Mickey was wrong.
That's fucked up. He was the rogue vote that pinned on me to make you guys pissed off. That's ridiculous.
Mickey did.
Okay, so I played the clip. I played my audio. I had my audio lined up wrong. I'm not even going to try to fix it. We're just going with it as it is. That was actually Sam campaigning to everybody outside the boat room and Nicole finding out that she was the rogue vote. We played that clip on Saturday's show, so you've already heard it. That's what that was. Then at this point is when Jackson storms out. Nothing much different here. I just wanted that was the Sam campaigning, which I was just totally amused at that he was trying. You have to give the guy credit. So here's Jackson storming out of the boat room. I keep wanting to call it the head of household room. The boat room.
You know why I did it? Was to keep those asses off.
why didn't you tell us that?
I like your top. You four look lovely.
Well, I can fucking trust you, Jack.
About to lose my fucking shit.
I completely forgot that part of the audio. So that audio, very little of that was actually Jackson storming out. It was them listening outside and Nicole, totally uncomfortable with the moment, is saying, "Hey, I like your top. Oh, thank you." It was just and Nicole's trying to do the silly banter, and Nick's like, "Shush, I can't hear." So I found that amusing. Sorry you didn't get to hear it Saturday, but you're getting to hear it tonight, right? Or today, whenever you happen to listen to it. So the next stuff I have written down, and some of this is just my notes that would have filled in the blank space, and I'm just going to read it semi-verbatim. I have Nick, Jessica, Sam, Nicole, and Cliff continue to listen to the 5. Now Jackson has left, obviously, plus Holly, who has gone into the room, argue in the boat room. They can hear everything. Mostly it's Christy, and so you just hear Christy talking. Then all of a sudden, Cliff gets called in to the boat room by Christy, and it was about that Cliff was the one who told Christy about the rogue vote. Oh wait, no, Christy told Cliff about the rogue vote, and she's calling Cliff in to do this, and Jackson gets pissed off about something, storms out, and just calls Christy a huge liar. This is another clip that did get played on the show, but hopefully maybe the context is a little bit better this time. So here we go.
But come here.
Yeah?
Come here, because Jackson told me that you told him that I told you about the road vote, which is true. But that was only because you exchanged information that you swore you wouldn't say anything because you told me that you, Holly, Jackson, and Kat had a 4-person alliance called the Southerners. Nice guy. You're a nice guy, Jackson. You're a real nice guy.
No, I'm saying that because you go cry to Sam 3 times in a day and then you come and lie to us.
What did I cry to say about?
Like you're so upset that he's going, you wish you could say it's Holly's decision.
I didn't say it's Holly's decision.
Okay.
I said it's
Okay.
unfortunate.
Okay. Fucking liar. Here's a liar. Liar.
One thing to know, well, a couple things to note about that last clip. So you heard the brushing of the teeth. So Jackson was already outside of the, he was, as you said, he'd left the room, he'd stormed out. So he's brushing his teeth. He hears Christy talking. Christy calls in Cliff, and she mentions about an alliance called the Southerners, if you want to scroll back and listen to it. When Christy says alliance called the Southerners, that is the moment that Jessica and Nick, who are both outside in the bathroom listening, start jumping up and down and making all these expressions like, oh my God. That's the clip. The video they played that to a different thing that Christina said. So they used that reaction with different audio. And to me, this is interesting because this is one of these moments that I love about Big Brother, because we know that that's not what the video was tied to. And it is them manipulating video and audio and just, not being honestly real. It's not reality TV. It is the fake. And this is the kind of stuff that I think happens on every single reality show, where you see reactions that aren't really tied to the thing that you're hearing at the same time, and which is fine, but it's just so people believe everything they see on reality television. Just don't believe it's all real. Understand the producers are telling a story, and they will manipulate audio and video as necessary to tell a story. Anyways, that's why I find it interesting, and I just love the liar thing and how angrily Jackson was brushing his teeth. I mean, you could hear it. So, right after that, where are we at? We're at 5:07 p.m. is where that last one ended. And remember, the show starts at 6 Big Brother time, so that's roughly, this is my estimates, roughly 5:07 p.m. What I did was the actual leak included the very beginning of the show, so I subtracted time from all of these to come up with the approximate time, assuming it started at 6. So Jackson goes back into the boat room in this clip, or he's already in there, I don't remember which, and he wants to know where Christy is getting her intel. Where's she getting it? And this is a clip that, again, I know we did not play on the show, and I found it funny, and you're going to have to listen closely, because Christy says, it's known that I listen outside doors, and I just was so funny. And then Kat also at this point has been in the room for a while, and she's just like, wait a minute, my time in the house is on the line. I need you guys to hear what I have to say. I'm pretty sure this is a fairly muddied, hard to understand clip, but I thought it was worth playing, and frankly, it's no worse, if it's not better, than a lot of the whispery clips we play. So let's take a listen to this one.
If you want one,
I'm asking you. And what all did I say? Because I never
well,
said
I'm
words out
not gonna give a number of people up because I am loyal to people, a couple people. I also, it's my known thing that I listen outside doors, so that's another thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked just because I am on the block and I feel like I feel like the Kindle now. I don't know, like the Southerners, I'm not part of that.
All right, as I said, that clip was going to be a little bit hard to hear. Now, I'm wearing earbuds and listening to this as I recorded. I could hear it fairly clearly with my earbuds in, but if you're just listening through this through speakers, it might be hard for you to make out what was being said. But I pretty much summarized it, so I just found it interesting and thought it was worth playing. I like the part where Christy said it's known that I listen outside doors. That was just kind of one of those, really? We're at this point now where we're actually admitting that you sneak around and listen to people, and no one's saying we should get rid of her? Because they're not. She's saying it's known I listen outside doors, and I'm still here. So now Jackson, who previously had stormed out, storms back in, or has gone back in. He storms out again. We played this clip on the show. This is where he explains to Nicole that he was the rogue vote, and she basically says, apology accepted. Again, another moment that I was just completely amused by.
That's what that means. Yeah, upstairs or down. Hypocrisy is a double standard. Because you're going to sit there and say, I'm such a hero, blah, blah, blah. But I said...
How's that hypocrite, though? What am I doing?
There's no sarcasm or cynicism in your voice.
But how's it hypocritical? What am I'm claiming to be a hero?
You're claiming that I'm condescending, you don't like the way I speak to you, but you're going to sit there and be...
condescending. I don't like the way you yelled. You yelled at me.
Do you hear how loud you've gotten today? In order to get any words out, in order to be heard, you have to yell louder than you. Because it's Christy's world, and I'm living in it. I can't even speak unless I'm louder than you.
Sorry that you feel that way. I don't think I was screaming, but okay.
That's fine. Oh, yeah, Nicole, I was the rogue vote. It wasn't dependent on you. It was because I knew Holly and Sis were a target, and I wanted a target to go to anyone other than Holly and Sis. For the record, and you will hear that in there. I didn't care where the target went. I just didn't want it on Holly or Sis because I didn't want them going on the block. I'm sorry you had to be a victim of it. You'll hear my apology in there when you watch the show back. I love you to death. Everything I've told you has been truthful, and I'm sorry you took the brunt end of the stick. I was the rogue vote. It was only to protect them. It was in no way to throw you under the bus. FYI.
I understand and respect that, and I accept your apology. It's a game.
Oh, that clip. I'm just... Jackson goes, Nicole accepts all over. The very beginning, you also heard Jack. He was getting called to the diary room while this was all going on. So that was the upstairs, downstairs thing. So that was what that was. I like to clear up these little weirdnesses that I forget about until I hear them. So we've got Jackson having told about being the rogue vote. Christy at this point had stayed in the room, and she's yelling and talking with other people, and she kind of gets fed up with all of it and just goes, I don't know what's going on. You just tell me what to do. And she storms out. So that's what we got right here.
Yeah, ask Jackson why everyone thinks.
Why the fuck does Jackson think me?
Because Jackson's a snake.
Probably because he wants me to be at home.
listen.
I don't know. Like, I don't
Honestly,
know. Holly, I'm sorry.
You guys just won't let me know how to vote.
I mean, don't. Like, people are forbidden.
I don't want you to go, Kat, but like, I don't know what's the truth and what's not.
So Christy has stormed out saying, just tell me what to do. And she gets out there, and I don't remember if at this point if Annalise had already left or if she came out after her. But you've got Christy, Annalise, and Jessica now in the bathroom talking. Annalise is saying, I believe Kat, and she's saying, I do. Jessica is talking very quietly, and it's kind of hard to hear, but that's how Jessica does it. This is just a clip that gets lots of information, and Christy is all over the place, and I enjoyed it and thought it was worth playing. So here we go.
The only things that I do know right now is that Jackson is the common denominator of everything, basically.
I told you Jackson fucking was making something up. What if he's fucking making up that they know each other?
I don't know.
Really
I don't know
each
anything.
other?
All I know is that my gut about Jackson has been right since the day we moved in this house.
I honestly don't think.
I love Kat. I honestly love Kat.
I do too.
And Kat is. I don't think Kat's lying.
I understand that she fucks around a lot. I understand that she plays and she says shit.
I don't think they know each other.
I don't.
really don't.
Do I think they know the same people? Sure. But if that were the case, then Holly and Jackson knew each other.
Well, who does Jackson want to go?
like-
Who does Jackson want to go? Because that's who I want to keep.
That's right. I played that clip. That's right. I like the Christy Park gang. Who does Jackson want to go? Because that's who I want to keep. That was very, that just pretty much says it all. And of course, when it came time for the show, we now know that they voted together, which as everyone pointed out to me, if one of them, if Sam was going, they wouldn't, or if Sam was staying, they wouldn't have voted the same. So Sam at this point, or sorry, not Sam, Christy at this point is out of the boat room. Holly is also out of the boat room. She's flailing a little bit, not sure what to do. She ends up in the bathroom with Annalise and Jessica and Sam and gets quizzed a little bit about whether she and Kat actually know each other, and this is her reaction.
Holly, do you guys know each other?
I swear, no, we're not.
I fucking knew it.
So what is his
Jackson's
deal?
making
I
this
don't
shit
No,
up.
I think he's trying to flip the vote and send Kat home, and I don't know what the point of that is. And I need to figure out what the fucking
Kat's
conversation
not going
was.
home then, honestly. Kat's not fucking going home. And I hope that this was all worth it. I hope he feels really smart and savvy right now.
This is fucked up.
Where is he?
In the DR. It's what ultimately.
I don't know if this matters at all, but to be honest, it seems like the common denominator in this entire thing is Jackson.
Did she not
And if he for some reason wants you to go, I don't want that. Like,
I think he wants me to go.
did she not?
If you notice that clip kind of faded out at the end, that's because Christy went back into the room, but she's throwing Jackson under the bus some more, saying, he's the common denominator, and you can still hear Jack in there talking, and so that's what's going on there. This next clip is where things start to change, in my opinion. This is where my version of this audio clip varies highly from the CBS version. The CBS version seemed to show Christy as the savior of this group and keeping Sam getting voted out and saving Kat. I didn't see it that way. Holly is the one who has the ties with Kat and doesn't want to lose Kat. And her concern was they, of course, wanted to get rid of Kat because they didn't want 3 people that knew each other, when they were assuming that Jackson knew them as well, in the house. So Holly has pulled Jackson aside at this point, taken him to the storage room. You saw a very brief clip of this on the TV show. This is the clip that I really wanted to play Saturday night, and it accidentally was removed from the lineup, so Scott couldn't play it. And listen to it. In my opinion, it's Holly doing damage control. I actually would have liked this to even been longer, but I was editing it down for the show, and I can't undo what I've already done. But it is Holly quizzing Jackson. What did you say to Jackson exactly? When did you say it? And what are we going to do to fix this? And you've got to go fix this, and you've got to tell a story, and let's get our facts straight, our story straight, so that we're both telling the same thing. So in my opinion, Holly is the one who works her butt off, especially in this clip, to save Jackson and herself, although, as we know, it may not necessarily have done a whole lot to save Jackson, but it saved Holly's game and cleared her name as far as her and Kat knowing each other, at least removing most of the suspicion at this time.
He just announced that.
It was like day 2, and Kat told me.
Yes, I know.
And I talked to Jack, and
Back
he was
then?
like, yes, day 2.
Did you tell him that we do know each other, or that you thought we did?
That I thought
what?
you,
I need to know exactly what you told him.
that Kat said that y'all knew each other from weeks before this. Weeks, aka finals. And I have not talked to him about it since. And I never said that us 3 know each other, ever.
Because he's saying that right now, this morning, you went and said, Kat and Holly know each other, and then it can be me.
But I never speculated a new alliance, ever. I was telling him that Christy can't be trusted because there's no way all of these things line up.
So we need a fucking
can't trust
reason for you
Jack.
to say that. No, obviously.
Obvious, I know
I
that.
could've fucking told you that. You can trust me, and you can trust Kat, but now we are fucked. And the reason that they want to send her home is they don't want a trio in jury because they think that the 3 of us know each other. Maybe not the 3 of us, but definitely me and Kat.
I got burned. I got burned by Jack.
Duh. We fucking need to figure this out, though, and get not ahead of it, but you need to go in there and say, like, I thought they knew each other. And to be fair, we have met a couple times. We don't even know each other well. That's the fucked
I
up
know.
part.
That is all I said. I'm telling you verbatim what I said.
You need to think of a reason why you said that.
That's fine.
But what are you going to say?
I got it.
Okay, well, can you consult me
Yeah.
first so I can be in on it?
On day 2, I'm sitting there paranoid trying to figure out who knows who, thinking that people will think Ovi and I know each other because we went to Tennessee. And then I'm sitting there laying in bed with Kat, and we're talking about her career, and I'm putting 2 and 2 together about Rockstar, Monster. They have mutual friends, so maybe they know each other.
So if you heard Holly tell Jackson we did kind of know each other, but we don't know each other well, and then Jackson also mentions Rockstar, Monster. Those are like some kind of events that Holly and Kat both supposedly participated in. Now, we did play a clip on Saturday's show later where Holly said that she was Kat's chaperone. And I already talked about this. To me, that's a closer connection than even Holly is implying to Jackson in this clip. She's basically trying to make it vague to Jackson. They, in my opinion, know each other on a much better, much closer level than they've ever let on. Not like we're going to call each other we're best friends, but they've talked quite a bit to each other, I would think, at least at a maybe over a weekend, maybe over a week. And they didn't see each other after that, or they saw each other in passing, but they did spend a little bit of time together where they got to know each other. That's my opinion. So now Holly and Jackson exit the storage room. Jackson heads off to the boat room to do just what he said, to weave this story. As soon as they walk out of the storage room, Holly runs right into Annalise and Tommy, and they start giving her the third degree, asking her if she's being truthful, what the heck's going on, why is he saying these things. And Holly is stumbling, she's fighting, they're saying, please be truthful, please don't lie, we haven't lied to you. And Holly's like going, I haven't lied to you either. Remember, she just concocted lies that she wanted to make sure that Jackson told. And this is where Holly starts to throw shade towards Christy. Listen to it towards the end. She starts to try casting doubt, saying, but, are you sure? How do you know? And that's very important, again, to keeping her, covering herself and keeping things from going wacky and getting Kat evicted.
He thought that we fucking knew each other. And he apparently has thought that we've known each other for a while. And so he did fucking tell Jack that. And I don't know what his fucking motive was behind that, but I don't know why the fuck he A, thought that, B, didn't fucking ask me about it, and C, why the fuck he told Jack and dragged me into this shit.
I know.
Tommy, like, what did I tell you when we went to
I know.
that?
She said, I'm trusting you.
What did I tell you, Tommy?
She said, I wonder if Jackson is just making this up to get Sam to stay, to flip the votes, to get Kat voted out.
But Holly, why would Jackson want Christy?
If Sam is gonna work with Jackson,
I think he
Holly,
because
please
I
be
still
truthful,
I know
because I never lied to you.
I have the same paranoia,
I've
and
never
I haven't
lied to
fucking
you.
lied to you guys either. I have the same paranoia that something was fucking happening with Nick and Sam and Christy and whoever else. Completely honest. And
yeah.
But nothing was happening.
A fake
Are you sure though?
This went on for quite a while between Holly and Annalise and Tommy, and we pick it up a few minutes later where they're still talking. Here, Tommy is starting to seem to doubt Christy and seem to not quite believe in her, and you're kind of having wonderings. And then along comes Jackson, and Jackson, for the benefit of Holly, he's basically saying, here's what I just said in the other room. I'm going to repeat it right to your face with Tommy and Annalise sitting here so they all hear it. It's almost like the analogy I gave to my friend John today at lunch as we were talking about the show. I said it's almost like when you're, police officers, you see them on like Scott's favorite show, Live PD or Cops or one of those shows. They pull them apart, and two people that were involved in something get their stories, and then they come together and go like, yeah, their stories don't mesh. It's almost like Jackson went off with one cop or one room. He went to the boat room. Holly's here outside the storage room with Tommy and Annalise, and they're both telling a story, or starting to. Annalise, or I guess Holly never really gets to it. And before she gets the chance to start telling it, Jackson walks back over and tells what he just said. So Holly can go like, oh, okay, that's the story he told. All right, now I know what to say from now going forward. And we're all on the same page, even though they're both lying, and they came up with this lie 6-7 minutes before in the storage room. And for point of reference here, we're talking at this point, we're roughly 20 minutes away from the start of the eviction show. And things, really to me, still seem to be up in the air as far as exactly what's going to happen.
She has told me,
I
have never myself said,
but
listen, I myself have never said anything, but I will admit I have heard her complain about Jackson to Kat in the have-not room.
Yeah.
I never participated in the convo. I sat there and was an ear. And in fact, I actually said to her, I think you really need to cool it with talking about Jackson. She did
Which
do that.
also pisses me off because she's disparaging his character on national television, and you have to be really
I hear you.
But that's also a totally different topic.
I hear you, but also, it was rough. It was rough.
And I wasn't when this. Well, he already knows when this all happened, and she didn't successfully make that happen.
For the record about me, Holly, and Kat knowing each other, I'll tell you exactly where that came from. On day 2, when I was sitting there laying in bed with Kat, she's talking about her career. I'm sitting there trying to put 2 and 2 together. I'm thinking about how it's weird, how there's a lot of folks from New England, there's a lot of folks from the South. I'm also thinking it would look bad with me and Obi both going to Tennessee. They've done it in the past where people know each other, and it's been behind the scenes. They have the same career field, they have the same mutual friends. So I went to Jack the morning of day 3 after Kat and I first hooked up, and I literally told him, hey, Holly and Kat might know each other. It just doesn't make sense that they have the same jobs, the same this, the same that. They might know each other. Since then, him and I have never discussed it until today.
That being said, Jack brought it to me that he thinks Kat and Cliff were trying to pin us against each other. I said, why would Kat do that if Holly is all that she has and I'm all that she has? Even maybe from before this, Kat and Holly knew each other. Why would she come in here and work against Holly? There's never been any confirmation about that. There's never been any conversations that I've had with Holly or Kat regarding them knowing each other, nor has there ever been any further conversation from day 3 when Jack and I first speculated that until this morning. There's never been anything in between it. They don't know each other, nor has it been proven as a fact. It was a mere speculation on day 2. Day 2.
Did you notice anything about it today?
I did this morning. That's what I was saying. From day 2 until this morning.
People already were speculating, and then that was confirmation.
So Jackson has finished his retell. There's this huge blow up that happens with Tommy's there. Then Jack comes back by. They're arguing. Tommy accuses Jack of kind of double dealing and going behind their back, and he's talking about forming this alliance. Jackson's denying it. They call Cliff over. You'll hear it on this clip, which we did play on the show on Saturday, and he kind of says, no, there was no alliance, and Tommy just gets tongue-tied and befuddled, and this is kind of the second nail in the coffin. You know, you've got Holly throwing the shade at Christy, and now you've got Cliff saying there was no alliance, which is what we just finished talking about this whole time, that Christy was accusing Christy was accusing Cliff and Jackson of this whole alliance conspiracy, and now both of them are denying it. And while Tommy may question Jackson, Cliff has no reason to be making any of this up because it wouldn't affect him one way or the other. So here's Tommy kind of self-doubting.
If you don't feel comfortable vocalizing things to us right away, fine. But you felt comfortable enough to start building a new crew without us. That to me shows
to
that
who?
this.
With whom? Who am I building a new crew?
Did that not happen? Are you denying that happened?
Yes, I am denying that. Because I'm not building a new crew with anyone.
Well, there was already a crew in play. It was Cliff, you two, Cliff and Kat. That was already a thing.
It was never a crew.
Cliff
Cliff mentioned to me last night.
It was already prior, and we're not included in it. So, like,
what do you mean prior? There wasn't shit prior.
Cliff just confirmed it. Cliff just confirmed it in the room with everyone there.
With what?
That the 4 of you were working together.
I said that I'd approach them early. I also said that I could probably count on Kat's vote, and I absolutely believe that. But it was never a full.
So you never told Christy that the 4 of you were together?
No.
You just said that you were. But you just said that you were in the boat room.
No, I didn't.
You just
I said that.
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
I just heard you say that in the boat room.
I said I could probably count on Kat's vote with anything that we did. I felt like she and I were extremely tight. We have never come together as a group of 4, Tommy. Ever. Ever.
All. This is why I need to step away and breathe for a little bit.
Now we're jumping ahead a few minutes. Cliff is back in the bathroom with Kat and Jessica, and he's explaining about the whole Southerners things and how it wasn't an alliance. This clip is kind of mushed together of 2 moments, because after Cliff says this, Kat goes into the restroom and closes the door and uses the restroom. And when she comes back out, Cliff has left, and Kat looks over at Jessica, and this was shown on the TV show. Kat says, am I going out? Am I going? And Jessica doesn't answer her, and Kat just kind of says to herself, yeah. And then Jessica kind of whispers very quietly, I don't know. Again, this made the TV show, not the Southerners part, but the part of Kat looking at Jessica. So this was a clip that definitely did not make the show on Saturday because I really wanted to play it. So I was like, no, they showed it. So here this is.
They said that we were in a 4-person alliance called the Southerners. And that hinged out of a conversation I had with Christy, where I said that I had talked to Mickey and Holly and offered to try to be part of a group. Kat's name never came up out of it. Christy spun it into that we were in a 4-person alliance, which was not true. And now I don't know.
Am I getting voted out? Am I getting evicted? Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, we've arrived at the end for the most part. This is a funny throwaway. I thought it was a fun clip. We're about 12 minutes out from the TV show. Kat is scrambling to get ready. Nicole is saying how, this is, she feels bad that she ever suggested to Kat that she should go up as a pawn, and yet Kat is all about heels and having forgotten to finish packing her suitcase. I was amused. You're going to get to listen to it again, and you don't have to laugh if you don't want to.
This is so ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And the live show starts.
Well, what's really ridiculous is I don't have any cute heels. Oh, fuck, I gotta pack my suitcase.
And the last clip that did make the did make the podcast, sorry, did not make the TV show, is Julie Chen talking to the audience right before the show starts. It's kind of a mini repeat of what she said at the very beginning of the show, except for there's some bad words used by one of the producers or whatever his position is. And Julie basically saying she doesn't know what's happening. And it was accurate. The clip was like, we're talking 4 or 5 minutes at most before the start of the show. So there you go, folks. Check this out, and we'll wrap it up when I get back.
They are so good tonight, Julie.
I have to tell you guys.
Go.
Wait, did you tell them what's happening in the house right now?
Don told them it was a shitstorm, was what Don said.
We don't know who's going tonight. It's like crazy right now. I'm just gonna rip up my questions because I'm gonna be like, I don't even know what to say. Depending on who, I don't know. Well, wish me luck.
And there you have it. According to my calculations at this point, we should be at roughly the 40-minute mark of this CarCast. I get 45 minutes from Spreaker to do this. And so I will talk about this for just a couple of more minutes, and then we'll close her out. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you got a little bit more out of this. I am doing very little editing on this, and I've already noticed some little vocal twitches and things that I do and I say and my ums. And if I wanted to be professional, I'd go out there and remove all that stuff. But you know what? We're not worrying about it. We're just giving it to you as is. So for all of my little vocal tics and things that annoy you, I'm sorry, and I'm not cleaning them up. Those of you that are hearing this for the first time who have never heard either my CarCast or the Big Brother Gossip Show, be sure to check it out. You can go to iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher. However you are listening to this right now, you should be able to find the Big Brother Gossip Show as well, whether it's through BigBrotherPodcast.com, go to Spreaker, Stitcher, Patreon, look for Big Brother Gossip Show, look for my Big Brother CarCast. What I do almost every day of the week, definitely Monday through Friday, I get up in the morning, I figure out what's going on in the show. Oh, I do have a regular job, by the way. I jump in my car, head to work. On the way to work, I usually record what I call my CarCast, which is a 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20-minute little rambling to myself about what has gone on, usually the past 24 hours or so in the house, or any news I might have. And then I get off on tangents and sidetracked and typical stuff. I post that after I get to work usually. I throw it up. It may show up anywhere between 8 in the morning Eastern time to 11:30 in the morning Eastern time is when it usually shows up. It goes out on my Twitter account. My Twitter account is BBGOSSIP. It also goes up on Spreaker as the first place, SPREAKER.com, and search for Mike or Big Brother CarCast, whatever you want to do, and you should be able to find it there. But the link right on my Twitter account lets you play it if you want to, but you can also subscribe to it as a podcast. Then, on a lot of afternoons or evenings on the way home, I fire up Periscope, and I do a Periscope and talk to whoever happens to pop in the room. We usually average somewhere between, 50, 60, 100 people this year we're seeing to be get. My connection can be iffy. It can be spotty. People can drop out. I'm sorry. It's Verizon's fault, not mine. And we talk about everything, what's going on. People say things. I don't know what. It just varies. If people get me off on tangents, it's very easy. It's the reason I don't do this kind of thing in the morning, because I get so sidetracked. That's Monday through Friday for the most part. Saturdays, we do our podcast. And Sundays, I try to do as little as possible. So there's all the different ways you can hear me and my co-hosts Scott and Colette talk about Big Brother. I hope you enjoy it. Share it with your friends. I try to keep this podcast. Matter of fact, this is going to be the podcast with the most bad words in it of CarCast that I've done, just because I'm playing clips and the house guests have potty mouths. I try to keep mine fairly PG rated when I talk about stuff. So you shouldn't have to worry about ears listening too much, except for if I'm talking about things that the house guests do that they shouldn't. But with that, I'm wrapping it up. Hopefully some of you have decided, ooh, this is cool, I want to hear more, and you'll go check out our podcast, Big Brother Gossip Show. And even some of you others might say, hey, I'm going to support Mike, support Scott, support Colette. Go to patreon.com, Big Brother Gossip Show. Look for that. Or if you just want to throw something my way for doing my CarCast, you can also look for BBGOSSIP on Patreon. Or holler at me on Twitter, and I will get you whatever information you need. Okay? Everybody take care. Have a safe rest of your week. And we'll talk to you, some of you tomorrow, some of you on Saturday, and some of you maybe never again. Who knows? See you later. Bye-bye.
Because it's Christy's world, and I'm living in it.
Big Brother Gossip.